Hi guys, so this is definitely one of those moments when I wake up in the middle of the night, then I feel like I want to record something, then and voila, I just bring out the camera and I'm just speaking to the camera. So you should mind less about my looks right now because I didn't prepare for this. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now, but I feel it's okay to say this, and this is basically because of a couple stuff that I've seen happen in recent times to people around me. Yes, to people around me. So I felt it's okay to just share with people tips to passing an exam excellently. Now, I am no professor. I'm no professor in any course whatsoever. Most of the videos I make, if you have been watching my videos before now, they are based on life experiences. So I'm basically going to be talking based on my own experiences, based on the exams that I've taken before now, based on how I tackled them and how I could do greatly with them. So I'll just share like 4 or 5. I have like 4 or 5 written down here. So I would advise you listen. You just might need this if you are going through nursing school, because my own was applicable in nursing school. That's what I'm saying, nursing school. I mean, you can definitely use it in any phase of exam in life. I've used it in several exams I've written in nursing, outside nursing, several places. This is my way. So first thing I do is I study ahead. Now, what do I mean by study ahead? Like when the semester begins or when is the beginning of a whole session, I get like the curriculum for the whole session. So I go ahead and start studying. I just study randomly when everybody's obviously playing, like the work hasn't started. So, and why do I do that? Because I understand myself. I am not fast at learning. So, and all of the explanation that might come in the class too might not do so much for me. So yeah, I always like to go ahead. I always like to go ahead of the class, go ahead of the whole system. So just I'll be sure I'm doing something right. So what I do firstly is I read ahead, like way ahead of the whole class. I'm always reading like that. And then when I study, one other thing I do is I use videos. Yes, I go on YouTube because I probably haven't been taught this stuff by the lecturer or somebody that is higher. So I just use videos. When I go to YouTube is like my second lecturer. So I always, especially for nursing school, I get a lot of pathophysiologies on osmosis on YouTube. So yeah, so I might probably just link the page down there. So I mean, there are literally a lot of places where you can get materials to study on YouTube. Like you can just consume as much as you can, because at that time you are teaching yourself. So when the lecturer is teaching you or the teacher is teaching you in class, it will be like an added advantage because you'll be speaking ahead of the whole audience itself. So, and another thing I do is I try to organize my study. And when I say I organize my study, what do I mean by that? What I'm saying is, now if I'll be studying a particular course for a set time, I must complete that course for that set time. That means when you are organizing, you are putting yourself on the spot that okay, this is what I want to do and this is the time with which I'll do it. So it's just like you being committed to something, and it goes a long way to be committed to something like that, especially at the time when the class are not started, something like that, but you want to start it. So another thing is, if you're going to pass exams, you must learn to manage pressure. I've noticed that a lot of people fall down under pressure, and this is where most issues come from. One of my colleagues is reading already. One of them is this, is that. I never in any point in my life allow pressure to control me. So that's why sometimes I'm a little dozer. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to run too fast. I just want to move at my own pace. So sometimes I could be a little bit nonchalant, and it's not like I just decide to nonchalant, but I've decided to allow that pressure get through to me. So because when it gets through to me, then I'll be moving at the speed of someone else when there's a speed that I'm supposed to move at. So one other thing is, while I read, I like to jot them down So if that helps you too, just jot them down. So just something like that. And another thing that people joke with is the phase of resting. While you are reading, it is as much as important as reading to rest. So while you read, you rest. While I'm reading, I could read like an hour, then I go play a game on my phone for like 20 minutes or even more, because I have organized that this is what I want to study within like 2 hours, and I could meet up in like 1 hour. I mean, why not just take the time off to see a movie or something? As much as I read, that's how much that I play, because I really want to balance the whole stuff up. So if you're reading, you're studying, you're doing anything, make sure you are resting too. That is where most people miss it, because they are not really sure if they have covered enough. Just get the pressure off the whole situation. When you put pressure in it, you most likely sink. So one way is take pressure out, study ahead, study with videos, study with pictures. You understand? Another thing is group reading. You could do group reading too, but I'm not really a fan of that, because it doesn't work for me. Personally, it doesn't work for me. So there are 1,000 other things that you could do to study better. So you could just check the comment section if you have new ideas where people can read better, how people can read better rather, and get results. Yeah, definitely we'll be waiting for you to share it to us. So thank you very much for sticking out. So I'll just go back to bed now, I guess. So thank you very much for waiting. Yeah, so good night.